few months ago, I met a retired school teacher who told me something that felt so familiar. She said, I feel like a guard in my own house at night. I go to bed at 10, but by midnight, I am up again. Then at 2, then at 4. By morning, I feel like I never really slept. She thought this was simply part of growing older. But when we looked closer, it was not her age at all. It was one small habit she had carried for years without realizing it was quietly breaking her sleep. Her story is not rare. Many older adults in both America and India live with the same exhausting cycle. You lie down hoping for a peaceful night, but your body wakes you again and again. The tired eyes, the heavy legs, the foggy mornings, they become part of daily life. Yet here is the surprising truth. In many cases, the real cause is not age or illness. It is just one hidden habit that pushes the bladder to work all night long. And when you change it, everything changes. Today, I am going to show you the #1 worst habit that makes people over 60 wake up to pee all night and how to stop it starting tonight. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching this video from, and what time is it right now? Leave a comment below. I can't wait to see your answers. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button. If not, just give it a like. It really helps this channel grow. Stay with me, because this simple shift may be the key to giving you back the deep, quiet sleep you deserve. Bad habit. Drinking water at the wrong time. After 60, the body follows a slower and more fragile rhythm than it once did. One of the most important changes involves a hormone called vasopressin, which usually helps the kidneys slow down urine production during sleep. As vasopressin levels fall with age, the kidneys keep working at a daytime pace even while the body is trying to rest. More urine is produced, the bladder fills quickly, and the night is cut short. Many older adults describe this as a betrayal of their body. They did nothing wrong, yet they wake again and again. The situation becomes even worse when large amounts of water are taken after 6 or 7 in the evening. At that hour, the body is preparing to rest, but the kidneys are suddenly given more fluid to process. They pass it to the bladder just when nerves and muscles should be quiet. For a bladder that has already grown more sensitive with age, even a half glass can trigger the urgent signal to wake up. In many American and Indian households, it is routine to end the day with water, tea, milk, or a light soup. While comforting these habits, quietly overload the bladder and guarantee 1 or 2 bathroom trips before morning. Take the story of Mrs. Harris, a 72-year-old grandmother from Ohio. She enjoyed finishing her day with a cold glass of water, convinced it was keeping her healthy. Instead, she found herself awake at 2 a.m. and again at 4, wandering half asleep toward the bathroom. Her daughter worried she might fall. Once her doctor explained that the timing of water mattered more than the total amount, she was relieved. By shifting her drinking earlier, most of it before mid-afternoon, only a few small sips in the evening, she quickly noticed a change. Within a week, she was sleeping 5 or 6 hours without interruption, grateful for what she called a piece of my younger self returning. The real lesson is simple. You do not need to drink less water. You need to drink it at the right time. Hydration remains essential for circulation, memory, and joint health. The key is to drink steadily through the morning and early afternoon, then ease back as evening arrives. Respecting this natural rhythm allows the kidneys and bladder to rest and gives you back the deep, healing sleep your body still remembers. Other common causes. One of the most common habits many older adults quietly carry into their later years is the practice of going to the bathroom just in case before bed. It sounds harmless and even responsible because parents and teachers encouraged it when we were young. Yet over time, this routine can actually retrain the bladder in the wrong direction. The bladder is a muscle with nerves that learn patterns. When you force it to empty while only partly full, those nerves begin sending urgent signals even when there is very little inside. For a 65-year-old who values every hour of rest, this can mean being woken unnecessarily night after night simply because the body has been taught to expect it. Food choices at dinner also play a bigger role than many people realize. Light watery meals such as soup watermelon slices or raw tomato salads feel refreshing and healthy. But eaten close to bedtime, they quietly increase the total fluid load the kidneys must process. For an aging bladder that already holds less than it once did, even these innocent foods can create a sense of urgency. An older gentleman in New Jersey told me he thought watermelon after dinner was harmless until he noticed he woke twice each night. Shifting that fruit to lunchtime allowed him to sleep through until dawn, proving that timing matters as much as nutrition. Evening drinks are another hidden culprit. A warm cup of tea, coffee, or even herbal blends feels comforting at 9 o'clock, especially in Indian or American homes where this ritual has deep roots. Yet, caffeine, even in small amounts, can irritate the bladder and stimulate the kidneys. Warm milk or chamomile tea may feel gentler, but the liquid still has to be processed during the hours when the body should be resting. An older woman in Chicago said she never thought her late-night green tea was the reason she woke at 3 a.m. Replacing it with a small sip of room temperature water at 6 p.m. gave her back uninterrupted nights. Salt is another factor that sneaks into evening meals. Pickles, salty snacks, or heavily seasoned curries make us thirsty, leading to more drinking after dinner. The body tries to flush out that extra sodium and the bladder fills faster during the night. For seniors, this creates a double problem, not only broken sleep, but also morning swelling in the feet or ankles from fluid shifts. Choosing lighter seasonings in the evening and saving salty treats for earlier in the day is one simple step that makes nights calmer. The reassuring message is that these patterns are not signs of serious disease in most people. They are everyday habits, small choices that build up and quietly shape how the body behaves at night. By recognizing them, you gain back a sense of control. The good news is that simple adjustments, timing your bathroom trips, shifting watery foods to lunch, avoiding caffeine late in the evening, and limiting salt at night can restore peaceful sleep. Aging may bring new challenges, but it does not mean surrendering to restless nights. With gentle changes, your body can still remember how to rest deeply, leaving you more steady, clear, and energized each morning. Real stories in Texas. Mr. Thompson, a 70-year-old grandfather, had grown used to restless nights. He believed waking up 2 or 3 times to use the bathroom was simply what happened when you reached a certain age. Every evening, he enjoyed a tall glass of water after dinner, often around 8 o'clock, thinking it would help his digestion and keep him hydrated. But the result was predictable by midnight. He was walking down the hall half asleep, then again at 3 in the morning and sometimes once more before sunrise. His mornings felt heavy, his balance was less steady, and he noticed his memory felt foggy. His doctor explained that the problem was not how much water he drank, but when he drank it. By shifting most of his water intake earlier in the day before 3 in the afternoon and keeping the evening to only a few small sips, he noticed a remarkable change. Within 1 week, he slept a full 6 hours without interruption, something he had not experienced in years. He told his daughter, "It feels like I've been given a gift just being able to rest again." A similar story comes from Pune, India, where 72-year-old Mrs. Deshmukh cherished her evening ritual of ginger tea at 9 o'clock. For her, it was a comfort after a long day, a moment of peace before bed. Yet she never connected this small habit with her nightly awakenings at 2:30 in the morning. Her family noticed she looked more tired each day and worried about her losing strength. When her grandson gently suggested moving her tea earlier, she hesitated, worried she would lose her moment of comfort. But she tried drinking it at 6 in the evening instead. To her surprise, within days, she began sleeping 5 or 6 hours straight and her mornings felt lighter. She kept her ritual, but now it no longer robbed her of rest. She told a friend, "I didn't know such a small change could bring such relief. It feels like I found a new chapter of calm." The shared lesson from both lives is clear. After 60, the body responds differently than it did in youth. The bladder grows more sensitive, hormone levels shift, and small choices around food and drink can echo loudly in the middle of the night. These are not signs of weakness or failure. They are signals the body gives, asking for adjustments with kindness. Whether it is moving water to earlier hours or shifting tea to the early evening, even gentle changes can restore balance. For seniors in both America and India, the message is hopeful. You still hold the power to shape your nights. Restful sleep is not out of reach. It often waits just beyond one small habit, adjusted with care and patience. How to drink water the right way. The timing of water matters just as much as the amount, especially after 60, when the body responds more sensitively than before. Experts recommend drinking most of your water steadily through the day, beginning at breakfast and continuing until around 3 or 4 in the afternoon. During these hours, the kidneys are most active. The body's circulation is strong, and extra fluids can be processed without disturbing the night's rest. For many seniors, this one change can reduce the number of times the bladder interrupts sleep. As the afternoon passes, it becomes important to taper your intake. By the time evening arrives, you should focus more on small sips rather than full glasses. After 7 o'clock, only drink when you truly feel thirsty, just enough to soothe your mouth. Think of this as preparing your body for rest, creating space for the kidneys and bladder to stay calm while you sleep. A woman in California once told me she replaced her evening water bottle with a tiny cup, and the difference in her sleep was remarkable. If you take medication at night, of course you will need water. The key is to drink just enough to swallow the pill comfortably rather than finishing a full glass out of habit. Seniors in both America and India often keep water by the bed, but a single sip may be all that is needed. By avoiding excess, you support both your treatment and your sleep. Another gentle tip is to choose warm or room temperature water instead of ice cold. Chilled drinks, especially in the evening, can irritate the bladder and trigger unnecessary urgency. Warm water, by contrast, is soothing for digestion and kinder to aging muscles and nerves. One older man from Dela said that swapping his cold water for warm helped him cut his bathroom trips in half. The best way to imagine this habit is to think of how we dim the lights before bedtime. Just as soft light signals to the brain that it is time to rest, reducing water intake and choosing gentle temperatures tells the body to prepare for quiet hours ahead. With these small but powerful changes, you can guide your body toward calmer nights and wake in the morning with more energy, balance, and peace. Common mistakes you should avoid. One of the first mistakes many older adults make is cutting back on water during the day, believing it will prevent nighttime urination. At first, this seems logical, but the body does not work that way. When you deprive yourself of fluids through the morning and afternoon, your system quietly becomes dehydrated. By evening, the blood thickens, and the kidneys are forced to work harder to restore balance. This often means more urine is produced later at night, just when you are trying to rest. A gentleman from Florida once told me he avoided water all day, only to wake 3 times after midnight. When he began drinking steadily from breakfast until mid-afternoon, his nights became calmer and his mornings clearer. Another common misunderstanding is that only men suffer from nighttime urination because of the prostate. While prostate enlargement can certainly play a role, women face the same struggle as the bladder grows more sensitive with age. Many older women quietly accept the idea that broken nights are just for men, leaving them feeling dismissed and alone. Yet studies show that both men and women over 60 experience similar bladder changes. Recognizing this truth can help women feel validated and encourage them to make lifestyle adjustments without shame or hesitation. A third mistake is relying on warm water before bed to promote sleep. It feels soothing in the moment, like a gentle ritual, but the added fluid has to be processed during the night. For an aging bladder already on alert, this habit almost guarantees a bathroom trip at 2 or 3 in the morning. Replacing that full glass with a few calming breaths or light stretching can bring relaxation without overloading the bladder. Finally, many elders carry the habit of emptying the bladder just in case before sleep. While it seems safe, the bladder is a muscle that learns patterns. When you force it to empty, even when barely full, it begins to send signals too early. Over time, this retrains the nerves to trigger urgency for only small amounts, leading to more interruptions through the night. A woman in Ohio once said, "I thought I was being careful, but I was teaching my body the wrong lesson." By waiting for a true urge instead of a forced one, she slowly regained longer stretches of peaceful rest. The hopeful message is that these are not serious diseases, but correctable habits. By drinking water earlier, recognizing that both men and women are affected, avoiding unnecessary fluids at night, and trusting the body's real signals, you can take back control. Even in later years, your nights do not need to be broken. With gentle changes, you can guide your body toward the deep, healing sleep it still remembers. Extra tips to help you sleep better. One simple but powerful way to reduce nighttime bathroom trips is to keep your legs active during the day. After 60, circulation slows and fluid often collects quietly in the lower legs and ankles. When you finally lie down at night, that fluid shifts upward, forcing the kidneys to work harder and filling the bladder just as your body wants to rest. Gentle activity such as morning walks in the park, light stretches beside the bed, or even a few minutes of lifting your heels while sitting in a chair can help release this fluid earlier in the day. A retired veteran in Dallas told me that adding a 20-minute walk each morning not only improved his balance but also cut his nighttime bathroom trips in half. Another helpful adjustment is to change how you position yourself at night. Many seniors naturally sleep on their backs, yet this posture places more pressure on the bladder. By turning onto the left side with a soft pillow between the knees and another under the head, pressure on the bladder decreases. This position also improves digestion and blood flow, allowing the entire body to settle more deeply. An older woman in Mumbai once said that this small change, hugging a pillow as she fell asleep, gave her longer stretches of uninterrupted rest than she had enjoyed in years. Clothing and room environment matter more than many realize. Thick pajamas and heavy blankets can cause overheating, which leads to sweat and thirst and more fluid movement during the night. Choosing light cotton sleepwear, using a thin blanket, and keeping the room slightly cool with a fan or open window can make a big difference. Seniors in both Florida and Kerala often share that simply switching to breathable fabrics help them wake less thirsty and feel calmer through the night. Finally, preparing the mind is just as important as preparing the body. Deep breathing or gentle meditation for 5 minutes before bed helps calm the nervous system. By relaxing the belly and slowing the heart rate, the bladder becomes less likely to send false urgency signals. One grandmother from New Jersey described how placing her hands on her stomach and breathing deeply each night allowed her to fall asleep peacefully. She said, "It feels like telling my body it is safe to rest." These small tips may sound simple, but together they create a powerful rhythm of care. By moving more in the morning, adjusting sleep posture, keeping your environment cool and calming the mind before bed, you can guide your body toward restful nights. Even in later years, small changes still have the power to restore deep healing sleep. A question many older adults ask with a quiet sense of worry is, am I waking up at night simply because of age? The honest answer is no. While aging does bring natural changes to hormones and bladder sensitivity, the majority of nighttime urination is actually linked to everyday habits. Drinking too much late in the evening, having watery foods before bed, or following long-held routines can all play a role. This means the problem is not an unavoidable destiny tied to growing older. The hopeful truth is that with small adjustments like shifting water earlier in the day or reducing salty foods at night, you can often see real improvements within just a week or two. Another question that comes up often is, what if I am already taking diuretics for blood pressure or other conditions? These medications are designed to help the body release fluid so naturally they can make nighttime trips more frequent. The key is not to stop or skip your medicine on your own, but to talk with your doctor about timing. Sometimes, a simple change like moving the dose to earlier in the day can reduce nighttime urgency without affecting the benefits of treatment. A senior in California once told me that adjusting his pill time made the difference between waking up 3 times a night and sleeping through until morning. People also ask, are there certain foods that can help or make things worse? The answer is yes. Foods that are spicy, acidic or watery, such as citrus fruits, tomatoes or chilies, can irritate the bladder if eaten close to bedtime. Instead, choosing calming fruits like bananas, pears, or papaya in the afternoon or early evening can help the bladder stay quiet. A grandmother in Pune shared how swapping her late orange juice for a slice of ripe papaya allowed her to rest more peacefully, proving that even small dietary choices can bring comfort. Finally, many want to know, do I always need to see a doctor for this? The gentle guidance is that if lifestyle changes like adjusting fluid timing diet or bedtime habits do not improve things after 2 or 3 weeks, then it is wise to consult your physician. A checkup can rule out other conditions and often provides reassurance as much as treatment. The important message is not to suffer in silence. Help is available, and solutions are often simpler than expected. These common questions reveal a deeper truth. Nighttime urination is not simply about age, and it does not mean losing control. By asking the right questions, making small changes, and seeking guidance when needed, you can regain confidence and enjoy the quiet rest your body still remembers. When we look back at everything we have shared, the message is simple yet powerful. Just one habit, drinking water at the wrong time, can quietly steal hours of precious rest each night. Many people assume that poor sleep is just a normal part of aging, something they must accept without question. But the truth is far more hopeful. By shifting the timing of your water intake and making small adjustments in your daily routine, you can give your body the chance to rest more deeply. It does not require expensive treatments, complicated routines, or drastic changes. Instead, it is about listening to your body's signals and working with its natural rhythm. This habit may have been overlooked for years, but it can be corrected, and the reward is uninterrupted, healing sleep. Think about how much of your life has been devoted to caring for others. For decades, you may have placed your family's needs before your own, often at the cost of your own rest. Now, as the years move forward, this is your time to care for yourself with the same dedication. Your health, your energy, and your sense of peace are worth protecting. Making these changes is not a selfish act. It is an investment in the strength and independence you want to carry into the years ahead. Imagine waking up clear-headed, steady on your feet, and ready to greet the day with calm confidence. That is the gift you can give yourself, and it begins with small choices made each evening. Here is my gentle challenge to you. For the next 7 days, try shifting your water intake to earlier in the day. Reduce what you drink after sunset, keep evening sips light, and watch how your nights unfold. Keep a small notebook by your bed if you like, and jot down how many times you wake, how rested you feel in the morning, and how your body responds. At the end of the week, look back and see if there is a difference. Small changes can create powerful results even after 60. Your body still remembers how to rest, and with your care, it can return to that rhythm. This is your moment to take action, to reclaim the deep sleep you deserve, and to remind yourself that better health is still in your hands.